Good morning, guys. Wanderboom here. New project today. We are hanging out in Reno at Robin's sister's house and trying to get a whole bunch of different things done before we head south for the winter. And the new one is one of those awesome little Chinese diesel heaters we picked up. I wish I would have known this before we did the rest of the van build, but so the problem right now, or the big one right now, is where the heck we put it. We're kind of, packed in pretty tight here in our van. So let's go through the process a little bit about figuring out where we're going to put this thing. So yeah, these heaters are about the size of a football, maybe a little bit bigger. So the question is, where do we go with it? In our van, we've got, we're pretty well packed in. We've got our bed in the back. This is a rare view of our vehicle in bed mode. We're staying here at Robin's sister's, so we're in the house a lot of the time, so we're just keeping it in bed mode while we're here, but we are sleeping out here. We don't, want to be forgetting about how it is to live in our van, and we love to live out here, so we just sleep out here. It's been chilly. We've had a few nights down into the low 30s, so we've been using our Olympian Wave 3, which is pretty nice, but it does suck a fair amount of propane, and we got to be concerned about the propane thing. We've got to keep in our little cute little 1 gallon tank here in the bus with us. But we just filled it up about a week ago, and with using this thing every night and keeping it essentially on high, we've gone through that whole gallon in a week. So when we're just using that thing for our propane cooktop, we can go almost a month or longer without using that much propane. So so basically we need to figure out where we're going to put our other heater, and that way we won't need to keep using this little guy. So where do we put it? Obviously this is our closet. I've got the cover off right now here so I can access things. I've been doing a little bit of wiring adjusting and doing a few things, but clearly nowhere it can go here. That's our water tank that goes underneath the cabinet over here. So our cabinets are completely full, and there's really nowhere. I thought maybe we could squeeze it in underneath back down here, but there's just not, it's too small of a space. We don't want to really go under the bed, because of both the, I guess from what we've heard, it makes a little, constant hum sound and makes a little noise during the night. Plus, just, I don't know, safety wise, just feel like it'd be a little weird having it right underneath the bed. There's no room on this side in the cabinetry. Thought maybe there's a chance we could squeeze it in the space on either side of, maybe on the composting toilet, but it's too big for there. So we really don't have anywhere else here to go. The other thought was maybe down here behind the driver's seat, move all of the reflectix out of the way and have it maybe sit there, but it needs to draw outside air in one side and then blow the heat out the other. So I think I figured out where I'm going to put it. So I'm under the bus now. Here's our front doors, or our doors going in. See that here? Oh, but behind our step right here, there happens to be this nice big space right here. And so I think I'm going to try to figure out a way to create a kind of an enclosure here almost for this, and mount it right inside here. And that way it'll be out of the weather, protected that way, but also safe from, getting the gases inside of the van or anything like that. And all right, so this is kind of what I'm thinking. As you can see, it almost fits in there really nice. Basically I just got to figure out a way to mount it up in here safely and solidly, so it can't move around or go anywhere, and have everything mounted and stored right outside here underneath the bus. So I have to put the my new heater down underneath here behind the step, so figured might as well kill two birds with one stone here. I have to put my new I'm putting my new buyer's boxes in this location anyway, so I'm going ahead and cutting out the area where I'm going to be mounting the new boxes, As you can see, this is where the existing one double battery box is. It's quite a beast, and that's all rusted and shot, so gonna get rid of all that stuff and mount the batteries inside the new boxes. But in the meantime, got to get these guys out and out of the way, and that'll clear me some room to be able to put my little heater in down there. Yeah, I'm thinking this is ready for removal. Again, if you're buying a shuttle bus or a bus, avoid the Midwest or the Northeast where they use salt, because I mean, it's not horrible, but it's just a lot more headaches to deal with rusty nails and bolts and such. Okay, so like I said, here's where we ended up finishing the mounting of the heater. Basically, as you can see there, I bolted through the step there, the riser of the step on the inside. So it's bolted in there real nice. You've got the exhaust pipe, which we ran over there, mounted that direction. I really didn't want to stick it to shoot a screw through the bottom of the step here, so I went ahead and just angled it over there. It blew a bunch of smoke the very first time it fired up, but now every other time after that, it seems like it's doesn't really smoke at all, just a little bit of basic exhaust coming out. And then there's the supply here, and I've got that running over here to its little pump, and then that goes up through into the box here, and I'll show you how I've got the box mounted in there, or the gas can for it. But basically it's just gonna sit right in here and supply us with some nice heat for us. The supply for the going inside needs to go up through the floor, and it was a little longer than the little section of pipe they gave me, so I happen to have a little more of the same kind of tubing, and it came with a little kind of a T type of a unit to have it go to two separate supplies, but I only need the one since we're a fairly small van. So what I did was I cut off the end of it, like the plastic end like this, that was a little bit longer here, used that for my kind of a backer underneath here, so that when I put the clamps on both sides, it'll stay put and not just keep crushing it down. And now I've got, and then capped off the end here, so that now I've just got a nice little elbow to aim that heat up right up inside of the rig, and I'll show you where that's coming up through in a moment. So here's my our hole. It doesn't quite line up. There's actually some of the steel framing right here. That's have to push it over about 3/4 of an inch or so. So what I did is lined it up as best I could there, and then basically just lined the whole thing, kind of running duct tape down into to grab onto that plastic piece that I teed, and then running that up into the hole here and sticking it multiple layers all down there. So I mean, I had it sitting when I was just testing the heat. The pipe was about 6 or 8 inches away from this hole, and it was blasting up in here, and it heated this place up like nothing. So just this way, it's most definitely plenty of heat still going to get in here. So they come with these nice little covers, so that's going to set right on there like that. Kind of turn it and aim it, but we'll probably have it like that, so it aims towards the back of the bus for us. And it also helped kind of keep our Battleborn batteries nice and toasty up here. So got another little hole to fill for some, where I had to bring the wires through. Put my little controller up in here, and it actually has a little remote handle, little guy, this little deal. So we got to figure out what the story is with this, but I think we can be able to kind of just be hanging out over in the bed and click the button and fire it up and turn it right back down again. Getting up to speed. That tick tick is the pump pushing little bits of diesel in there to the chamber. So the gas can, again, it came with like this 10-liter odd can that I really couldn't find a place for it. And I mounted my new box here anyway for our batteries. And so they fit in right there real nice. And I had this diesel can that we had with us anyway for our vehicle. So what I did was I took the hose, supply hose there, and basically it comes with this little attachment essentially to connect your line to. Where am I? Comes with this little metal part that you got to run through your can, even if it was the other can. That was a little tricky. What I had to do is actually take the cap off here, and I set it like this, and I actually put that piece on the end of a piece of copper wire and stuck it down in, and after I drilled through the proper size hole I needed, and basically stuck it down in there and fished it through, and then punched it through, threaded on the little screw there, and now we've got our what we need. So we can put it like this when we need to fill it. We can just take the cap off, fill it up. It's a 2.5 gallon tank, and so I'll put less than 2 gallons in it because it's going to sit sideways like this, and just slides right back in like that. I leave the cap like this so that it draws the air through, pulls the fuel right through, and we got ourselves a heater. So yeah, this is where we ended up running the controller inside here. Didn't have a ton of cable for it, so this is where I had to kind of put it. But this is a nice little unit. It actually comes with this little fob, which is great, which we can just set over by the bed and turn it right on, turn it up, turn it down, turn it right off with so we don't even need to be over here. So it's a great little Bluetooth little deal, and this whole thing was $125 on eBay, which is just crazy cheap. And we've been using it now for a couple of nights, and it's been great. I mean, we turned it down. You can turn it down to 1.6 on here. Let's see how I can show you that. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Yeah. So that's as low, and what that basically, it's what the pump pushes of the diesel fuel. You can go all the way up to 5. So if it's up to 5, it really cranks hot. We got it down to 1.6, and last night we had it going all night long, and it stayed at about 50 degrees in here. Basically, it was 49, I think, when we got up this morning, which is comfortable, which is nice. If you're one of those people that like it more towards 70, you got to just crank it up and do what you got to do. But we like it cold, and then we can, again, if at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, we want it toastier when we're up and around, we can just turn it up a bit, and it'll be nice and warm and good to go for when we're getting started with our day. Well, there we go, guys. We're almost ready to get back on the road. We got a whole bunch of nice new upgrades we've been doing on the bus here while we're at Robin's Sisters. Got our undermount boxes all mounted. Got the new heater installed. I got actually the cameras all finally hooked up and working, and finally getting things all wrapped up. And the temperatures are dropping pretty quick here in the Reno area, and so it's getting to be about time for us to get on the road and get back south and see all of our friends down in the great, beautiful Southwest. So I'll talk to you again soon. Remember to be sure to like and subscribe, and please share to anyone else that's interested in this kind of fun bus stuff and shuttle buses and all that good stuff. So thanks for watching, guys.